the soda, or you got some questions?
Welcome to another episode of Rey
Nev.
And today is last week you actually were asking me questions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you put me on the spot.
Yep.
And the thing is, you had the questions and I didn't see them.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I know that you did see these questions, but it was last week when I wrote them. So you probably don't even remember what I was going to ask, right?
I glanced at them. I don't really recall all of the questions.
Well, the good thing about it is we're going to change some of those questions today. So you ready for this, what is it, a fire session?
I'm ready.
All right. Yeah, here we go. No, question number one. Why did you get into real estate?
I got into real estate for a handful of different reasons, but big thing is that real estate is something that really kind of fueled my entire family. My dad is in real estate on the investment side, so my mom, my grandparents, my uncle, and it just made sense to become a realtor. We don't have any of those in the family except for one particular person. She is actually my little brother's what is it called? Godmother.
Okay.
And crazy thing about it is that I actually seen a picture of her last week, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this lady, because she's not actually blood. She's the lady who actually sold my parents their house when they moved to Florida.
Get out of here. Then she became the godmother of your
Yes, because her name is Kathy, by the way. Because my dad was in New York when my little brother was born, and the only person my mom knew in Florida was her. So she called her when she went into labor, and she just showed up to the house, put her in the car, drove to the hospital, stayed in the hospital.
She was a bona fide realtor. She was real.
She went above and beyond even after the sale.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, good one. Okay, that's a good reason to do it. All right. What advice would you give new agents about joining the real estate business?
My only advice for new agents coming into the business is treat real estate as school. This is not one of those jobs where you just want to come in and try to learn as you go. This is definitely one that I would suggest you learn as you grow. Every day needs to be you learning something.
You're doing something.
Because it's constantly changing. Every situation is different. I was always told that a couple things, that you're never as good as you think you are.
That's a good point. That's huge. I like that.
Always be learning something.
Awesome. What has real estate changed in your life? Think about this one in all aspects. Just not in regards to just monetary, but what has it done for you? Personally, spiritually, physically, all of that.
Real estate has actually changed me the most, more than anything else in my life.
Okay.
On the aspect that I'm an avid reader now. 4 years ago, me picking up a book, highly unlikely.
Yeah.
I wake up early. I don't like waking up early, but I wake up early. I'm more conscious about my decisions, my thoughts, my actions, things I say. I think about things I'm gonna say before I say it. Before I was more impulsive on the things I would say.
Okay.
But I feel like it's just changed me all across the board. Where it's like it was kind of like a forced maturity. Where it's like I'm matured more in a direction that I like, thanks to real estate.
Okay, awesome. I like that. And in regards to that, when you got your real estate license, you were excited. What process did you take in picking the real estate company? Because obviously I know that you didn't start here at La Rosa Realty. Where did what was your process?
That's a great question, actually. I remember this day like it's yesterday. I passed the real estate test. I got home and I had the paper that says pass. I actually found that paper last week as well.
What?
Yeah, I actually have a picture of it.
You know what sucks about it? They don't tell you the score.
They don't tell you the score.
When you fail, they tell you the score.
They tell you when you fail.
But when you pass, no.
It says pass, and I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, and I'm like, it's so crazy because I'm super excited, and in that same minute, I instantly go to like, what do I do
now?
Yeah, I have no idea what to do.
I think everybody goes through that phase.
I'm like, oh boy, I devoted so much energy just to pass this test that I never thought past it. And
how many times did you take it, if you don't mind me asking?
I took it 5.
Damn, you beat me. I took it 4. I passed. Well, no, you took the same time as me.
Yeah,
because I took
it 4 times and I passed it on the 5th time.
Failed it 4 and passed it on the
But yeah, first thing I did was actually call a friend of mine. He was a real estate agent, asked him about the company that he was with. And I looked it up, and it was just, they were too far away from my house. I'm like, I'm not signing up to that office. And then I reached out to my aunt, and I remembered she was actually a lender.
Okay.
So I reached out to her, and she was like, oh, this guy, help me, boom, boom. And she connected me with him. And I met with him the next day, and I was still in that, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. And he seemed to have good answers, so I signed up.
Okay. And this is who?
The name of the company was HomeWise.
HomeWise. Okay, yeah, I know HomeWise.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I signed up for him. He sounded great and everything. He was a great person, honestly, great guy.
Most real estate people are.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
I've rarely met someone that in real estate
unless you go to Miami. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take your word on that. But yeah, that's all the research I did on the first company I was with. My second company, I did a lot more research. Looked into a lot more companies, and I gave myself basically a decision. I said I'm going to join a new real estate company at the beginning of January. I believe that's 2018. And January is when I started meeting with all these companies, and La Rosa Realty was not anywhere on that list.
Gotcha.
La Rosa Realty actually got on that list a week before I was going to meet my last broker. I was going.
How many people told him?
5.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to.
You like do things in 5s, according to pass your test in 5, pick your company in 5.
5 is a lucky number, man. I'm driving to my sister's house. She lives in Celebration, and going out of my neighborhood, I see a La Rosa Realty listed sign, and I was like, I've never seen that company before. And I've seen that sign 2 times before I even left the neighborhood. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I'm on the I-4. I'm going to the Celebration exit, and I see this building, and biggest thing on the building is La Rosa Realty. And I was like, what is this? I've never heard of this company before this. And when I get there, first thing I do is ask my sister about it. I'm like, hey, what's up with La Rosa Realty? And she was like, oh yeah, it's a real estate company over here. I forgot about them, but they actually sponsor, I think it was her son's
football team.
If it wasn't football, it was soccer. One of them 2 things.
Yeah, I know they sponsor football because I coached them.
Okay, yeah.
I coached.
So it might have been football. And I was like, oh wow. So I looked deeper into it, and I was like, but this is just so far out. Yeah. And I did some research and tried to find the closest one to Apopka, but still, someone from the Celebration office called me to schedule it, and I was very straightforward with them. I was like, if this is the only location, I'm just not going to do it. It's way too far. It's not convenient for me. And she was like, no. The next closest one is going to be Longwood, so Apopka. Yeah. And I ended up in Longwood, met with Carlos Bonilla. Great guy again. Yeah. I remember literally the first thing when I walked in there, I spoke to Jolie. She was super awesome. And sat down. I remember literally like the first 10 minutes of sitting down. And he's like, you want any tea? And I was like, that's so weird to be offering someone tea. I don't know why it was weird to sit out in my mind. But he doesn't
do coffee, that's why. He does tea.
I know that now.
His dad does coffee, but he does tea.
Like, tea? No, thank you. But it was super low pressure, and he was just like, just think about it. He showed me all the programs. It didn't feel like he was trying to sell me on anything.
Nope. That's how it is here.
And that was the difference in the Rosa Realty compared to the other 4 that I actually went and interviewed with. I actually didn't even interview before. I only did 3 because I didn't go to the last one. The last one. After I did the Rosa Realty, I told him straight up, I'm gonna sign up, but I'm gonna tell my previous broker in person that, hey, I'm leaving the company because I just didn't feel comfortable doing it over the phone.
Yeah. It's a lot of people like to do it that way. You don't want to burn any bridges.
Exactly. So I left that morning, met with my previous broker, came back at like 3 p.m. to tell him. Came back to La Rosa Realty to tell Carlos, hey, I'm signed up. And I want to say literally that was like a Tuesday. The next day, he actually had me on the phones making calls. Yeah. I was
That's how it is. That's how it is. We want to make you successful right away. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to wait. We want you to be successful right away. All right. You're almost there. What is your ultimate goal in real estate? And this is a 2-part question.
My ultimate goal in real estate is a few things. I'm using real estate more or less as a vessel to the destination of my ultimate goal.
Which is my next question.
But the one that I really want to focus on, and this one that I've been thinking about since when I first joined real estate, is I want to be a developer. I want to be able to build houses. Okay. I have an uncle that's flipped numerous houses in Philadelphia. When I say like well over 100.
Now, when you say he's flipped, so that he has built from scratch, or he's flipping properties that already exist,
previously built homes that he buys at great prices. He just
and then flips them.
Yep.
Okay.
He invests money
So
in
an actual
sells them
flip.
back. Yeah, actual flip. And so, but I actually want to go to these places and build houses instead. I want those. I want to be able to do that and provide that to the market.
Okay.
But I'll let you ask the
other one is, what is your ultimate goal in life?
Oh, life goal. So my big major goal that I want to take away from real estate is that in building houses, actually, it's not really so much real estate related. I want to be kind of like a subcontractor for like construction equipment, where it's like instead of actually having a hand in the actual materials and everything, I'm only providing the machinery, cranes, bulldozers, things like that.
There's a ton of companies that do that.
I don't want to actually do the work.
That makes sense.
But I want to be able to still have my hand in it. It is still part of real estate because the work isn't getting done. The machinery isn't there. But that's my big major overall goal is I want to be able to start a company to do that.
Perfect. Now, let's say you hit your goal, right? Does your goal change? Does it evolve? Or does it stay the same and then you retire?
I don't understand retirement in general. I don't really understand that. Like, I don't have a plateau that I want to reach and hey, I'm going to quit working, I'm done. I want it to be more or less where I'm 65 years old and I have a choice of how much I want to be involved in the business because I was able to build a structure strong enough that it supports itself, but also I still want to be involved in decision making.
Okay, that makes sense.
That
makes 100% sense. I love that. All right, perfect. Now, this last question is curveball. Because, obviously you're with Ray. Ray throws curveballs. So, if I knew you as a kid in high school, who were you?
Oh, boy, I was a whole different person.
All right, who was that? Who was Neville?
I really didn't talk a lot. I feel like I was anxious all the time, so it was just like, let me keep my anxiety to myself. I'm gonna be quiet all the time. I'm not gonna talk a lot.
Why were you anxious?
It was just my personality.
Okay.
It's just who I was. I never really felt comfortable around groups of people. I still don't feel comfortable around large groups of people, but I'm able to kind of like avoid the anxiety portion of it and still be outgoing.
We were out at the Wellborn and you were comfortable. We were like 20 people.
This is true. That's what I'm saying.
But that's because you're around people you know. So it's more comfortable.
Exactly, that part as well. But it's just I'm able to understand like the anxiety and not allow it to take over in that moment. So it's like that self-dialogue is different for me.
So let's say, for example, in high school, would you be able to get up in front of the room and give a book report? A presentation?
I've done it maybe 3 times and I hated it. They were horrible. I was anxious the entire time, all the way up until I did it. It was like, heck yeah, I was nervous, I was sweating, it was horrible. It was a nightmare. And now I'm like, if it's an opportunity to give a speech, I want to do it.
That's awesome. Question. So in high school, right, when you were this anxious kid, very quiet, what would your grades look like? What did your grades look like in high school?
They weren't great. No, I was strictly a C student.
C student?
Yeah, I was like
average after class.
Yeah, right. I'm like, if average is gonna get me to graduate, why would I give extra effort?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it was just when you have anxiety, and people out here who have anxiety, they know it kind of is like very overbearing. So it's like trying to learn something when you're anxious is not the easiest thing. Like you're trying to pay attention, but you're still like you're not fully there.
You're not focused.
You're not focused. So it was a little bit more difficult for me. And then on top of that, I also was not the studying type. I wasn't the homework type. If it took me longer than an hour, I probably wasn't gonna.
You wouldn't do it.
I probably wasn't gonna do it.
Done. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'll do 100. I'll do an hour worth, and I'm done.
Yeah, but that did give me the power where it was like I could write a 5-page paper in like 30 minutes. That's nothing. I can knock that out.
So you work more efficiently because you weren't willing to do the hours.
Exactly.
So you look for the smarter way out every time. Like, what can I do to be let me use a different phrase. You were more efficient. You always try to be more efficient than make it harder for yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because at the same time, you gotta remember, C's were fine with me. So,
Yeah.
So I was like, if I can get a C in 30 minutes, why would I spend the 2 hours to get an A?
Yeah, no,
if the C is gonna get me by, okay, let me do
awesome.
that.
Awesome. So that's it. That's all the questions I have for you today. So awesome. I love your answers. I hope you guys at home love the answers. And if not, if you guys want to make it hard for Neville, by the way, he's single. So if you guys want to make it hard for him, send us some questions in the comments, and we'll do another episode. I'll throw some questions in there just to throw him off the game. So unless you have anything else to close on.
You don't have to throw the single part in, but it's cool. No, that's honestly.
I would say for the ladies out there, you never know. You got ladies out there watching, so I'm your YouTube wingman. You know what I mean? So that's how I do it. So.
All right, guys. See y'all next time.
See you next time.